David, I know Max finished the game on Tuesday. Has he had any ill effects after the bang on the head?
Yeah, obviously he got some stitches, as we all have seen. Some nice colors around his eyes as well, but apart from this, he is fine. Obviously, it was great for him to play his 200th game, a good game as well, a win as well. So apart from this injury, I think it was a good afternoon or evening for him.
What's the latest on Temu Pukki? Is he likely to be involved at the weekend?
Yeah, if everything goes to plan, he will train today. And if he will train today without any issues, then he will be in the squad for tomorrow.
Any other issues since Tuesday?
Yeah, unfortunately, Kieran Dowell has a knee injury. He stretched his ligament. Unfortunately, this means he will be out till the second part of April. It's unfortunately a serious injury. He doesn't need a surgery, but this will take time. Apart from this setback, which we obviously have to conceded with him injury-wise, where we will wish him all the best and support him that he comes back on the level which he has shown. I think he has done great since I came in. We will support him that he recovers as quick and as good as he can.
I was going to say, you introduced him back into the team when you arrived.
Yeah, and I think even if he had some games where he wasn't on his best level, but overall I think he performed very well. He scored, I think, 4 goals, gave assists as well. I think he was a threat offensively, adapted very well to our idea of football. Is a good guy, but now, as I said, he will be on the sideline for a longer period of time, and we try everything to support him as good as we can, that he recovers as quick as he can.
Obviously, everyone knows and reflects the result on Tuesday night and the performance as well, but a lot of people were still talking about that goal from Marcelino on Tuesday night. What's he been like over the last couple of days?
Yeah, obviously he has a smile on his face, and apart from this goal, he played very well. He worked unbelievably well. I know the first one was an absolutely stunner, but me as a manager, to be fair, I liked the second one more, because this was a proper number 10 run which he has done on the blind side. He has done it 2 times before where he was only unlucky. So this was a goal where, let's say, there was a strategy and a plan, an idea of our football in behind this goal, and the first one was only individual top quality. It was a great goal. Absolutely it was. So he had a good afternoon. Hopefully he recovers as good as he can. I'm pretty sure that he will, because he's a top athlete, and hopefully he can perform a comparable performance tomorrow again.
And finally, just a word about Cardiff. Their style of play since Lamouchi has arrived, has that changed dramatically or subtly, or is anything that sticks out for you?
Yeah, I think it is obvious that he started to try to implement a 4-back line. Obviously, they conceded 3 defeats with this formation. Then he went to 5-back line. They won now the last 2 without conceding. He's still fresh in the building, like we are, to be fair. I think he as well tried to find a way, try to implement his ideas. But even if we obviously look back everything what he has done so far, and we are aware about everything what we have to know, and we let the players know everything what they have to know regarding Cardiff, we have to make sure that, like in the past, respect the opponent, but don't be focused on him too much. Be focused that you do offensively attack the right spaces with your idea, and defensively make sure that you don't give them a breather. We have to come to our best again. We have to make everybody clear that it will be hard work, where we need a lot of support, a lot of energy. We have to make the really hard, the dirty yards after now the second week with the midweek game, which we have in front of us. And for this, we need our supporters as well. But if we all together be on our best, I'm confident that we have everything to be successful on Saturday.
Brilliant. All the best.
Thank you.
Right. David, nice to see you. Just on Dowell, has he had surgery? Will he have to have surgery?
No, without surgery. But this will take time anyway.
I must confess, I'm trying to remember. Did he come off second half or did he last the game? He did.
To be fair, it happened very early. I think after 5 minutes, where he had this block in the box, and then he made a great movement, good feet, and he created this chance on the near post where he finished with the right foot, and the goalkeeper saved. It was pretty early in the game, and I was quite surprised when I heard after the game. It looks that he has a problem with his knee, and obviously then we made a scan and we get the diagnosed then the day after. It only shows with adrenaline what you are capable of doing as a footballer. So he played till the 85th minute without a big issue, and I think he has done a good game as well, like the whole team. Now we have to take it. Obviously, injury-wise, it wasn't now the best period which we had with the last games, but we go forward. So we had this issue before. The players reacted very well. I think we have to make clear that we are focused on the healthy players, that everybody knows and understands our idea. I think everybody who stepped in so far has shown this, which is important, that the message is across, if you are a starter or not, if you are a sub, however, how many minutes, when you get used, make sure that you perform on your highest level. And I think everybody has done this, and hopefully this will continue. Dowry for sure, we will miss him like we missed Josh and like we missed Timo, but even if we miss them, I think everybody has done a fantastic job in the last games, and we have to move on and make sure that we don't get carried away by this injury news, which we have to deal with. We have to be focused on Cardiff and make sure that we support the injured players as good as we can.
Just one more on Dowell, because I know it's not your priority. It certainly won't be the lad's priority now. It's about getting fit again. But in the background, he is one of those who's out of contract in the summer. Will that run separate to this issue? That's not going to have any impact on it at all?
No, I don't think we now have to discuss Dowley's contract situation. Now it's all about the energy for him to get healthy as soon as possible, and we will support him. And for us is to be focused on tomorrow. Anything else will come for sure.
Sure. You've already cleared up with Timu, but Josh Sargent, just to clarify, not involved this weekend. And is there anything moving further forward you can tell us on the timeline with that?
Yeah, we have the hope that he can come back before the international break, but not for tomorrow, and probably not for Millwall as well.
Okay. And other than those guys, any of the lads involved midweek, Dowell aside, no issues at all there for fitness-wise for tomorrow?
No, everybody else looked fine after Tuesday night's game.
On Nunez, Donny's already asked you, but what I wanted to ask you is, it was quite interesting. He did some media after the game, and he was very honest and said that he didn't feel he grabbed his opportunity of late, or really pushed his case. Obviously, he did that midweek. Is that great to hear? That as much as you want to convey messages to your players, it needs to come from them as well. They need to understand that if they get an opportunity, they have to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. But to be fair, we should not underestimate. He is still a very young lad, with 22, I think. Came from South America, started very well. This is what I've heard, and obviously then for whatever reason he had a little bit a dip, which is more or less normal. The most important thing is that you work against this, that you really fight and try everything to turn it around, and this is what he has done, especially in training. Obviously he had the one or other opportunity since we arrived, where he were not able to perform on the standards which he expects from him, which we like, which we love to have from him. But to be fair, he didn't play in the central position as well, not very often. So now he has done it. Now he has done it on this level. Now he has done with this performance, and he deserved every praise which he get, and he has to get credit for it. but he has to do it consistently. And tomorrow, obviously, next chance. He, like the whole team, will have the confidence and hopefully as well, again, the energy on the pitch and on the stands to perform on a comparable level again.
Just talking to South Americans, because you have spoken about Kenny McLean and what a top professional he is and how important he's been for you, but alongside him now, Gabby Zara, just starting to show now that consistency really in a key area of the pitch as well, I'm sure, for what you're trying to achieve here. How impressed have you been with him, and how big a player could he be moving forward, not just this season but beyond?
Yeah, to be fair, since we arrived in the building, I think Gabi has done fantastic. I think he needed 1 or 2 games to adapt to the role, which I think fits perfect to him, and with all the numbers which he delivers in terms of his work volume, it's great. He's technically very good. He as well is aggressive enough and stepped up still to learn to be aggressive. Tactically, obviously, it's a little bit different, where he adapted very, very well. He scored a goal, had some further opportunities where he maybe can take more responsibility and be a little bit more selfish to try to finish his shot off. But he has done great. So in midfield, these 2 players, this is the heart of the game. This is the heart of the team. And if this heart works, if this heart lives, you always have a chance to be very competitive. And most of the games this was the case. And I'm really looking forward to work with Gabi in the future, because I think this is maybe the best position which he can play for us, especially in our system and our ideal football.
Just on the Carrow Road factor, I know you said what was in the past before you got there was in the past, but you clearly was aware of this group of players had struggled maybe to get those consistency in results and performance. Certainly not in the last 2 games. Do you feel this group has moved past that now? That any issues they may have had playing and performing at home are behind them?
Yeah, I think it's not a secret that the last 2 home games which we had were performance-wise and obviously from the result as well, good games. I think psychologically these were very important games as well. In one game we were 1-0 down, but we were able to come back, don't get affected. In the last game we were 2-0 up, conceded very early after halftime. We don't really got affected and stick to our idea. I think we still deserved the win, and then obviously we scored a wonderful 3rd goal as well. We've shown that our substitutions were always able to influence the game positive with energy. So even psychologically for us and for the supporters, to be fair, because they haven't won since October as well, the supporters, like the players have done before we now are back on winning track with the last games. For them it was as well important to feel, okay, it's possible if we all together stick together and if we all together try everything and invest everything to get these wins over the line. And it should give everybody the confidence and the boost to do the same on Saturday again. It will not come from alone. We know this. The supporters will know this. So we have to invest. We have to be ready for the fight. And the supporters have to be ready to put the energy into the stadium again. And with this, I think we have and we can be confident that we can be successful tomorrow.
Just one more on the game tomorrow. What type of approach do you think Cardiff will come here and be aggressive and maybe try and press you, or do you think it might be a low block type of game? How do you assess the challenge ahead?
To be totally honest, I don't know. And to be very honest, I don't really... It should not sound disrespectful, but I don't really focus on it. I'm focused on whatever we get faced, we have to prepare for it. They press us high, we have to find the solution. And this is where we prepare the players for. They sit in a deep block, on a midfield block, we have to find the solution. We have to know what we have to do. And this is where we are focused on, because what they do, we can't influence. So why should I waste my energy in something what I can't influence? I give all my energy, and I have a lot to be fair, into the players to give them the idea what should we do if the one or other situation will happen. And this is exactly how we approach this tomorrow.
Cheers, David. Good luck. Thanks.
I was going to actually ask you, David, when you are, may not be Cardiff, when you are faced with a team in a low block, they're happy to give you the ball, what is the key in your teams to getting around that? I think we kind of know what you're doing in terms of high press and transitions, but when it's like that?
I think at the end of the day, it's the same. It's all about your field positioning. It's all about to move the ball quick, and then it's all about to attack the right areas. This is for sure one of the most difficult things in football because it's very important that you have a proper rest defense as well, and that you have enough bodies in the ball area to counter press immediately. To don't give them a breather. And if you put the pressure high, then the gaps will come and the opportunities will come as well. So for a lot of teams in world football, this is probably the most difficult situation to break down an opponent who sits deep and defend the box without conceding the counter.
Brilliant stuff. When you came in, you would have had your idea of what you would want the team to do in terms of how they were going to press as well. Now you've had several weeks at it. When you first came in, do you look at what the team is doing and then try and build off that? Or do you just come in, ignore what's happened before, and here's what I want you to do, we're going to go through all that? Because I guess in some ways the job might be easier if you're building on what the team was doing. I'm conscious of what you found and whether you took that into account or just, this is my plan, here we go.
No, to be fair, when we took over, we had a clear idea, a clear plan, and we not really looked to the left or to the right and implemented our idea. But obviously we looked a little bit more in detail into the squad when we've chosen to take this opportunity. Do we have the feeling from the outside that the squad is capable of playing this identity, this style? And obviously Stuart has done his research and he has known exactly for what we stand, and he knows the squad at this time much more better than I did, and he was 100% sure this with our style, with our identity, with our training regime, this is exactly what this group can do, can make better or can perform on another level, and obviously to bring success. And this is why he was for me, I think, the main brain in this moment, where he has to know, can this fit together? Because he has known me inside out and he has known the squad inside out. And this was why when we've spoken about the Norwich City shop, said, this is what you get from me. You know it more or less for 100% exactly what it is, and you have to know, will this fit to your players, to your squad, which you build. And he was very sure, and this is why we sit now here together and played our first games and have a big one on Saturday again.
Indeed. And with the players on the pitch, I guess, could you, even if they're open-minded, they've obviously still been trained for a long time in what the predecessor would want. So can you see maybe when they're doing what they would have done before, just out of habit, I suppose, or regressing to what they would have done, and that sort of evolution, however open-minded they are, there's still that sort of training.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is exactly what I don't have done, because I said I leave in the past what was in the past. So if whoever likes to compare with the past, he can do it. I was not here, I will not do. Obviously, some players perform on another level because maybe the formation fits them more, because maybe the position fits them more, because maybe the idea of football fits them more. There can be thousand solutions. Maybe they feel more confident now after after the last results. But I don't compare it. I know what kind of football, what kind of a style, what principles are important for me. I try to get all the principles, the important principles, the idea across as good as I can. Obviously, you start at the beginning with the, let's say, more important ones, and then they will come more and more and more, and then you have to make sure that you repeat it always. It's not because it worked once, it will work on another day as well. So this is the job of a manager, and we are still developing, still improving, still trying to make it more and more clear what we like to have. And I still can say it's a very open-minded group. It's a group which likes to work. They have a very good attitude. A group which recognize very, very well when they have done something wrong. Obviously, they need support to make it clear what went wrong, but they like to correct it. And this is something what is special. At the end, we still are focused on performances, because I know for 100% if we perform on our good level, on our highest level, results will follow, and this is where we still are focused on, and this is what is important for us, first and foremost for tomorrow as well. Make sure you perform on your standard, and then we have a lot of skills to be successful.
Fantastic. With Christos, he's had a couple of bit of minutes here and there now. Is he in a position where he could start a game, or is there still work to get to that point?
I think he can be in a position, even if he still has to catch fitness-wise a lot of things up. I think it was a wonderful moment for him and for us as well. For sure, it will give him a massive confidence boost and helps him to still find his place here in this football club and in the team as well. It was, can I say, a typical Christos Solis goal, because this movements, these situations in training we have seen a few times. I'm so happy for him that he scored in this situation, and this is a project, let's say a long-term project. He's as well very, very young and didn't have so much game time in recent months or years. We've spoken about how it started when he first arrived here. So give him and us time. We will work with him, and hopefully he can produce more moments than he has done on Tuesday night.
And I did want to touch on Adam as well, because I'm sure it would have come up post-match, so apologies for missing that. But although I look at him and I feel like he obviously would love the goal, you can tell when he's shooting that would be a really big moment for him. But his link-up play around the game on Tuesday was excellent, and there's a lot of positive you can take from that.
Yeah, for me, Adam, apart from the goal or the assist, which he maybe missed, it was a top performance, a top striker performance. So he worked unbelievably hard. His numbers were great. His link-up play was good. His hold-up play was good. He made the right movements in behind as well. He assisted two great situations. The shot from Nacho in first half, and then Kenny McLean's big chance as well. So he was in the dangerous situations, had two good goal-scoring opportunities as well. One he got blocked, and the other one was a great save of the goalkeeper. So there was everything there. And what makes me even more happy is that this was now his third start in a row. All of them were over 90 minutes. I think nothing what I planned, but he got better in every game. And even in this game, there were not the moment where it went downhill. He consistently over the whole 90 minutes performed on a very, very high level after 3 games in a week. And he told me that he only started 13 games so far for this football club, and 3 of them were in the last week. So this only shows how massive the workload was for him. And even if the workload was so high, he was able to play in the third game, in the third start, over 90 minutes on this level. So this shows me fitness-wise, he is on a very good level. Obviously, he still needs game time, but I said this. I have known it before the game which he played on Tuesday, and I said this. He's a top striker talent. He as well, very young. You can see how interesting and how much space for improvement this talented group of players have. still very young. We will work with him, and I'm very happy to have him in our squad. And obviously now, when Josh comes back in, hopefully 10 days, 2 weeks time, wherever, as I said, hopefully before the international break, he can start and play again. And Timo Beck, there's competition on this position as well. Nacho, who can play, as we've seen, as a second striker or number 10, and this will push everybody to consistently perform on the highest level when needed.
That's brilliant, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.